Okay, part 3. Here we go. Oh, fuck.
Y'all look like, man. I didn't stop. Just chill, man.
Get over here.
Just chill.
Spit out. Put it out, man. Put it out.
Put it out, bro. Stop.
That's what's on me. Well, you want to buck up on me, dude? Huh?
Just chill out, bro. Put it out.
You'll be out.
I'm sorry, I can't get this damn thing aimed right.
You got a problem with me?
You got a problem with me?
Bro, Reggie, just chill, bro. Bro, just chill, bro. You're going to give us more points on this.
My brother's stuck. Just chill. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, I'm going to be out with my melody lane. Fourth.
I like your ring.
Pocket.
Sir? I like your ring.
Dude, I'm about to jack
It's
you up
glistening.
right now. Do you understand that? You know what? Let's go. Okay, you want to fuck around?
Bro, just chill, bro.
You want to fuck around?
Reggie, hey, don't resist. Reggie, don't resist.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, hey, bro, what the fuck? Oh my God, don't grab his leg like that, bro.
Don't fucking touch him.
Bro, don't touch him like that, bro. Reggie.
I'm getting no fucks, bro.
No.
Fucking touch him like that. Go to jail.
Bro, for what? You gotta know. Y'all look like, man.
Okay, hold on for a second.
I like your ring.
Okay, so the part where he grabbed the kid by the neck, I'm guilty of that shit too. So I'm going to go ahead and put my guilt out there before I play this video again. And this time I'm going to add some commentary of my own to this. And then we're going to have this discussion about this cop being fired. Alright? So, let's get this done.
Y'all look like, man. I didn't stop. Just
Now
chill.
listen to the conversation.
Get over here.
Just chill.
Spit out. Put it out, man. Put it out.
Again,
Put it out, bro.
we don't know why the cop's there.
That's what's on me. Well, you want to buck up on me, dude? Huh?
Just chill out, bro. Put it out.
You'll be out.
He all his
Put
friends.
it out.
I guess he was smoking a
You
cigarette.
got a problem with me?
You got a problem with me?
That's where shit went wrong.
Just chill, bro. You're going to give us more points on this.
My brother's stuck. Just chill.
Kids trying to defuse the situation.
Alright, I'm going to be out with my melody lane. Fourth.
I like your ring.
Pocket.
Sir? I like your ring.
See, he back talking. While his friend's trying to defuse the situation. He just warned the kid he was going to jack him up.
Just chill, bro. Reggie, hey, don't resist.
Here's where
Reggie,
shit
don't
goes
resist.
wrong.
I'm telling you right now.
He grabbed him like you would grab a child that's done something wrong, and it's not your child. You can see this cop is massive compared to this kid, but the other kid's a pretty tall guy. Everybody's coming to Reggie's rescue, even though Reggie kind of started this shit.
Go to jail.
Bro, for what? You gotta know.
Alright, so now, the cop losing his job. Alright, here we go. I'm about to piss all y'all off. I'm not on the police officer's side. I don't think he should have lost his job, but I'm not on his side. You are a cop. You were trained for this. And, you know, you have, just like the drill sergeants, had to have sensitivity class. Alright, and if you don't have a sensitivity class, believe me, after this, they will start making cops take sensitivity classes. Because after the shit that's gone down in the Army with recruits and NCOs being killed by recruits, because recruits, that's why you're not allowed to have no brass, no ammo on boot camp. You're not allowed to have any loaded thing until you're down range. Which still gives you the opportunity to execute a drill sergeant. And, you know, let me speak from the Army before I continue. When you are being trained in the military, they're training you for 3 possible reasons, alright? The most important reason is you're in the military, alright? The military, the M in military does not mean Millionaire Boys Club. It means might and you might die, alright? M-I-G-H-T, might. You might die because you're in the military. Regardless of what your MOS is, there's no guarantee where a mortar shell, an IED, a rogue suicide bomber, any of that shit. The M in military means might. And that might means right. It just means might. Alright? And you might die is like the first might that you are taught. You might die. If your MOS is an alpha, you're controlling buttons and you're making in calls and shit like that, you might kill some of your fellow soldiers to get the job done. It might be a friendly fire. No. These things do happen. They happen all the fucking time. Accidents happen all the time. As a vet, I'm going to tell you right now, sensitivity training is probably the best thing they've ever done to NCOs in the military, because I've had to have some cancellations in my trek down in Fort Benning, Georgia. I'm grateful that I'm out, but I'm ungrateful that I'm out. Now, this cop being fired, basically he's fired for jacking up a child. No, somebody's child. Somebody who did not teach their child that you should comply with the cops. You got 4 or 5 friends telling them, he need to comply. Just stop. You got 4 people telling Reggie to stop. The cop lost his cool. And in return for losing his cool, he lost his damn job. I don't think he should have lost his job. Reprimanded, suspended, yeah. All that legality, yeah. Fired, no. Because he did try to talk to the kid first. He did try to comply with the kid. Now, like I said, I'm not on this cop's side. I'm on the side of calling it like I see it. The friends of the kid tried to de-escalate the situation. Cop loses his job. Cops blasted all over the place. He'll probably never work in Florida again. And after this reputation, this might be the cop's only one-time fuck-up. He may never get another job in law enforcement. No, ever. But all of this could have been prevented if not for black pride. If you got your friends telling you to stop, the officers tried everything. He made you put out whatever the hell that was. Might have been a joint, might have been a cigarette, whatever. This kid did not comply. And no, I'm not victim blaming. I'm calling it right down the middle. And I have made 2 videos. One's about black pride with Reggie. And one was about his brother who tried to de-escalate the situation. And the other kid who was big and tall who came at the cop. The cop is surrounded by people. No. 2 things you got to understand about being a police officer. And yes, because was in the military, I know that this can happen to anybody. Anybody. I got police officers in my family. This can happen to anybody. Trust me when I tell you, your senses are moving 40,000 miles a minute. When we were doing live fire drills in the Army, when we were clearing rooms in the Army, your senses heighten. And they tell us, you're going to go through this. In Bravo, they put us in these containers, these shipping containers. They had a whole city made for us to train in. And so when we're going in there, we're clearing the room, the danger is real. Even though we know that we're being trained and we're not armed, but we're armed, we're just not loaded. So in other words, we have our magazines and our M4s, and we're going through there, and we're going in 2x2 formation. So it's a 4-man formation, and we're clearing the room. First 2 hug the right wall, second 2 hug the left wall, and then the 2 in the back stay at the back corners, and you in the front, you move to the front corners until y'all converge in the middle to see if there's anybody in there. 4 eyes from 4 different people, so you have 8 eyes in that room, so everybody's around you. But when you're a lone officer or a lone soldier, your senses, your urges, your instincts power up. It's like Dragon Ball Z. You're aware of everything around you. This cop could have felt like his life was threatened because the other kid in the orange shirt, you see, he's pretty tall too. Now Reggie, he's probably taller than me, but he's massively shorter compared to this big giant ass officer. The officer should have never had to put his hands on the kid to begin with. However, he put his hands on the kid in a rough, threatening kind of manner, which for most takedowns, that's not how it's done. Now, I'll admit again, I've been guilty of grabbing kids in my family that way, because I don't want to hurt them, so I grab them by the back of the neck. I've grabbed quite a few kids by the back of their neck, so I'm going to go ahead and throw my glass stones at the TV here, because I'm an honest man. I've done the same shit that cop's done. The same shit. Which is why I agree that he should not have been fired. Probably reprimanded. Probably suspended without pay. Something to teach him not to fucking do that. But at the same time, there are no other cops around. There's no backup. No one knows how the video began. They only know where the video starting point, which is somewhere in the middle. Because no one knows why the cops showed the fuck up. Okay? No one knows that. If there's more videos out here, somebody send me the direction so I can find it. But for what I've seen, the video has picked up in the middle, and clearly it didn't really finish. It's only a minute and 19 seconds long. So unlike most cameras on phones, they record until you say stop. No matter how much data you have on that phone, that shit will keep recording, especially if it's a live feed. And his friends told him to stop. The guy, he called for backup or something when he called for something. And first and foremost, before he had engaged with these children, he probably should have waited for his backup. But they were probably all walking off, so he probably took the initiative to go and try to detain them, which is what he could have said. Look, y'all being detained until my backup gets here. Don't nobody move. No. Anybody move, I'm going to put you in a police car. I'm going to lock you in the car. Now, he has the authority to do that. Y'all might not know that, but he has the authority to detain you in a situation where there's some kind of disturbance. He has the authority to detain you. Remember this video, because if this ever happens, you're going to know that the cop has the authority to detain you. You know. I watched another video that's not here or there with the ladies not complying about giving them a license and the cop harassing them because they're Hispanic. That's neither here or there, because this was not police harassment at its best. If anything, it was probably unnecessary roughness. But, you know, the cop did get fired. The byline says that the cop got fired. I will jack you up. Okay, as an adult, I have been jacked up as a kid. You know, by adults in my family. I've been jacked up the same way. And it's probably something that came out my mouth. This shit that came out my mouth. I own my flaws. As an adult, as I was saying, I have jacked up a generation of kids that I came up with. So we're gonna look at this officer when he jacked this kid up. He jacked him up like you would jack somebody up in your family. And black people have done this a lot. I've been a victim of it myself. I've also victimized someone myself doing the shit by grabbing somebody's kid by the neck. No, you can't do that. You know. Is it a crime? Kinda. Is it the only way he could have detained the kid? Probably, because the kid damn sure wasn't trying to comply when he told him to put out the cigarette or the cigar weed or whatever the hell it was he was smoking. There's no full-on detail on what led to this shit in the first place. There's no beginning. There's a midsection of this thing, and then the shit goes to hell in a handbasket, and the video's only a minute and 19 seconds long. Alright, so you have to wonder what was said before the video started recording. We don't ever look into that. When we're out in the public, when we're watching these things, we don't look into, okay, so how'd you get here? No, we don't look into that. We don't look into what was said before somebody decided, beep, let me hit the record button and follow you around. No, we don't do that. We civilians, we jump down this shit, we jump down the belly of this beast with no parachute and cement shoes. We jump down the belly of this beast. This shit will fly everywhere. It's already gone viral, so you know it's going to fly everywhere. Everybody's going to have their opinion, and I'm just giving you mine. And to be honest, I've made 3 videos about this shit, all between 12 and 13 minutes long. And none of you are going to like it. Period. Because none of us really wants to ever address the truth unless you've always addressed the truth, which is what I do. I always address the truth. The truth hurts. And the truth pisses people off. But you deal with it and you adjust and you get that shit out the way so that you don't have to suffer later, or it doesn't have to come back to bite you in the ass. It's the same reason why I tell people, if you tell one lie, it only takes one lie to fuck someone out their life. And then that one lie builds to another lie, to another lie, to another lie, until you're so covered with lies that the lie is going to slap you in the face. And when it does, you're going to understand the palm of its hand, because the truth always comes out. If you deal with the truth right then and there, you get that shit over with. And then you have to be man or woman enough to deal with the consequences of your actions. If you're doing drugs and a cop catches you, that's your fault. You know that doing drugs is illegal. Why are you stupid enough to do it? Oh, I'll never get caught. Never let that shit get into your head, because someone will catch you. I have been a victim of Murphy's Law all my life, which is why I don't do dumb shit. Because I know how bad my luck is, and I'm not the type of guy to go around pressing my fucking luck. This kid, this Reggie, I don't want to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to be honest, and y'all ain't going to like it. All he had to do was shut the fuck up. When you hear the part about, you got a problem with me, dude, and that's the cop, and the kid goes, you got a problem with me? That's why he's there. There's a problem somewhere, and you're right smack dead in the middle of the fucking shit. You're the fucking executor of the trouble of the day in this video. I'm not blaming him, because they said he was special. But even if you're mentally incompetent, you still have enough damn common sense to follow authority. Alright? I know, I'm not exactly the brightest bunch in the fucking shelf here, but I can tell you, every time that I've ever had an issue with a cop, I've done what I was told, and I've never been to jail. I've been handcuffed twice, but I've never been to jail. So while we're on the handcuffing twice, I got handcuffed because I was with a bunch of underage kids. They're old enough now that I can talk about it. They had Colt 45, the big bitch, and they got to fighting over a fucking cigarette. A cigarette. And we were at the University of Virginia school, up at the college. My cousin's cousins, who got me into this shit, they're his cousins on his mom's side. They're not biracially kin to me, but we're all good. We're basically still family, because I grew up with these guys, or they grew up watching me. And I tried to calm them down, over a fucking short, a piece of cigarette like this big. They're fighting, and they're brothers. And they're making all this noise, and the guy broke the beer bottle, which might have been the saving grace, because they broke the beer bottle, so the cops didn't know that these young guys had beer. And I wasn't a drinker at the time. I hadn't been in the military yet. And their cousin, which is my cousin, and their other cousin from fucking Georgia, were down at Orbit somewhere. I think it was called something else at the time, but they were down there, and we're up here in handcuffs because, one, they don't have ID, and my dumb ass does, and two, their disturbance, and whoever the person it was that called us, they seen 4 black people in the alley. That's pretty much, if we were just walking through the alley when they got to fighting over the fucking cigarette. So next thing you know, we're all in handcuffs, and the officer says, "Can I see y'all ID?" They're like, "We don't have ID." It's like, "I have an ID." So he's like, "If you take the cuffs outside and get it, or you go in my pocket and get it yourself. You got any weapons?" "No, sir. I am the weapon. I don't need any weapons." It's like, "What?" I said, "I do martial arts. I don't need no damn weapons. Only cowards and cops carry guns, and knives and shit like that." As I've gotten older, I still don't need weapons, but I do have quite a few knives. I just don't carry them on me out of the temptation to use them. So he got my ID. I can't remember if he uncuffed me and I got it for him, or if he went in my pocket and got it. But anyway, he got my ID. He realized how old I was, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to unhandcuff you, and you're going to take them the fuck out of here. That's what you're going to do." "Yes, sir. You ain't got to tell me twice." He took our cuffs off. I said, "Let's go. We out." No, we is out. We can go find our cousin, and y'all going to be his problem, because I'm going to fuck home. See, right then and there, that was like the last time I was ever going to get in trouble for family. And so right then and there, when we found our cousins at Orbit, I said, "Look, these motherfuckers got to fighting over a cigarette. We just got out of handcuffs. I'm going home. Whatever happens to you and them after that is on you. I'm going home. You ain't got to handcuff me but one damn time for me to get the fucking message." This kid in this video, he didn't comply. And that's what escalated this shit. His friends tried to de-escalate the shit. The cop was already high up on adrenaline. And to have a young person annoy you to the point of that, to where you gonna lose your job for grabbing this kid, the only people that ain't at fault is the kids that try to de-escalate the situation. The cop is at fault because instead of doing his damn job properly, he decides he wants to jerk the kid up by the fucking neck. Again, I'm guilty for jerking kids up by the neck. However, this guy's on the clock, so he should have known better. He should have probably grabbed him by the shoulder, or put his arms behind him in the way that they are taught. They do not teach you in the Army, and they do not teach you in the military, by the way, just so that I cover the United States military's ass. They do not teach us when we take down a bad guy that we grab them by the neck. We grab them by the arms, we grab them by the wrist. That's pretty much the gist of it. I'm James Williams Jr. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from in here. I'm calling it down the middle. This is 20 minutes of your life that you can't get back. This is Kung Fu Happy number 2. Be seeing you.